My brothers and my sisters, we're celebrating the fourth Sunday of Easter, otherwise known as Good Shepherd Sunday. And from John's Gospel, we hear the shepherd, Jesus, saying this about himself and about us. He says, "I know mine, and mine know me." It's the relationship. And it's a relationship where Jesus, as the shepherd, is inviting us to follow him, to be obedient to him. Now, in daily living, my brothers and my sisters, that seems to really kind of clash with self-actualization, self-determination, picking oneself up by one's bootstraps, being self-motivated, self-propelled. In a world in which we live, being obedient to another just doesn't seem to jive with successful lifestyles. And in fact, maybe what we need to do is look at who Jesus is as a shepherd and realize what obedience to that shepherd might look like. Jesus as a shepherd was obedient to God's will. He heard God's voice, he followed God's voice, and what he did is usher in a style of living where one lives for the well-being of another, not because one's coerced to do so, not because one is dragged into it to do so, not because one is told, if you don't do so, but Jesus gives his life because that's how one lives, and that becomes the foundation of living well. And so it is that our Good Shepherd traveled through death to the fullness of life to show us and to shepherd us toward this type of living, telling us that if you want to live well, if you want to lead others well, if you want to shepherd well, you need to do what I did as I was obedient to God's will. So my brothers and my sisters, in giving up my life so others might live, in trying in some scale to live as Jesus lived, I'm not being blindly obedient to him. I'm not being naively sort of manipulated into a standard of living. I'm finding my freedom. I'm finding my life. I'm finding Easter joy. Obedience to God, obedience to the Good Shepherd is knowing that the one that I follow is going to give me fullness and joy and happiness and actualization and a lifestyle that he alone can bring about, foster, and ultimately save. My brothers, my sisters, it's about living well. It's about Easter joy. Happy Good Shepherd Sunday.